Black eyes, bruises, a busted lip, certainly not anything that people would associate with a nursing home.
When one North Texas family suspected abuse, they didn't turn to regulators. They turned to technology. Fox 4's Becky Oliver here tonight with a Fox 4 investigation. Becky.
Well, nearly 2 million Americans are now living in nursing homes. Nationwide, about 1 in 3 homes have been cited for abuse, and that doesn't count what goes unreported. More and more families fed up with the system are fighting back with their own secret weapon.
She started having babies when she was 14.
At 98, Minnie Graham was a cherished woman.
She has great-great-grandchildren.
Adored by a large extended family with granddaughters who couldn't stand by when they started noticing bruises.
She kept telling us that people were hitting her.
Then a black eye, a split lip. Her granddaughters say the Winters Park nursing home in Garland told them Graham fell out of her wheelchair. They didn't buy it, so they installed a hidden camera in her room.
Roll over, Annie.
Brenna Tiller is the hospice worker who was assigned to Graham. The video shows Tiller pulling Graham up by the arm. She drops her back on the bed.
Somebody help me.
When the 98-year-old tries to fight back, Tiller slaps her more than once.
When my grandmother's screaming in pain, it's completely disregarded.
Tiller uses language we cannot air on TV. She calls Graham ugly and retarded. She mocks her. She also sticks out her tongue, sprays water in her face, and she puts a towel in her mouth she just used to clean Graham's body.
I just don't know how people can be so heartless and careless. Clearly it hurt when they pulled on her arm. Clearly it hurts when you yank someone by the hair of the head.
And it's not just Tiller. This nursing home employee, who goes by the name Lewis, is extremely rough with the frail 98-year-old. He hits her and appears to pinch her.
No compassion at all, no compassion.
Graham's family filed a complaint with Garland police, and the grand jury indicted both aides last summer for felony injury to the elderly. But then nothing. Records show police arrested Lewis, but the months ticked by. The court continued his case 13 times, waiting for Tiller's arrest.
And they kept telling us, we can't find her, we can't pick her up.
Right now, hi, I'm Becky Oliver with Fox 4.
But Fox 4 had no problem finding Tiller.
Have you seen the videotape?
No.
Have you watched it?
I don't want to. I don't want to. It's too many memories, bad memories.
You're seen hitting her, cussing at her.
She was pulling on me and slapping me. But I never have had a patient that was verbally aggressive like that.
Tiller was wearing a uniform and confirmed she still works as a nurse aide in another home. The state's nurse aide registry shows her certificate is valid and she's employable. The same for Lewis. Graham's family also filed a complaint with the Texas Department of Aging and Disability, or DADS, and showed the tape to an investigator.
She said, well, I did see what they did to her, and I'm really sorry about that, but, the nursing home didn't know they were doing that, so there's really not a lot we can do to the nursing home.
The state substantiated the complaint, but DADS did not cite the home for any deficiencies and issued no fines. Not unusual for the state of Texas. Medicare shows Texas pays some of the lowest fines on average in the country, just under $7 grand per fine. In Washington state, the average fine is about $90,000. Tennessee pays $64,000. Kentucky and South Carolina just under $40,000. And in Texas, if a nursing home agrees to pay a fine and not fight it, 35% is automatically knocked off.
Dad's completely let me down. They kept on making excuses.
Glenn Frosto and other families are getting so fed up with the state, they're turning to the courts. In a lawsuit, Frosto says his mother suffered from bed sores on her heel and backside, and Pennsylvania Rehab in Fort Worth failed to provide the proper medical care.
The bed sores were horrendous. I mean, they were big as a plate.
Frosto says it wasn't until after his mother died the state finally paid the nursing home a visit.
I said, how come you couldn't have done this when my mom was alive?
After his mom's death, state inspectors found Pennsylvania Rehab failed to maintain an infection control program. Records show 16 deficiencies in the past 3 years and one $1,600 fine.
It just left me appalled.
Connie Horsley's family is suing Duncanville Healthcare, claiming a worker dropped Horsley and he hit his head. It says the home should have used 2 workers to move the 75-year-old paraplegic.
You're talking about 5 falls total in a period of 8 months, which is, that's a lot of falls.
After Horsley's death, the state found Duncanville was providing substandard quality of care.
It's just not right, you know, for people to go through that, what I have went through, you know. Somebody needs to say something.
And that's exactly what families across North Texas are doing.
Just pushing her head.
When Minez Carter's family grew suspicious of bruises, they placed a hidden camera in her room at Heritage Oaks in Arlington. The video shows a nurse aide pulling Carter's hair, pushing her head, and pinching her leg.
My heart started racing, and I was horrified, and I was more mad than anything. Just to know this is going on with my mother.
After Fox 4 aired the video, police arrested Maria Acosta. She's facing felony injury to an elderly. The state investigated, substantiated the complaint, and issued a $137,000 fine. Heritage Oaks paid $90,000 to settle. Heritage Oaks told us the health, safety, and well-being of residents remains a top priority. The company removed the employee from the facility and is cooperating with the investigation.
Are you still working in healthcare now?
Yes.
The day after Fox talked to Brenna Tiller on camera, police arrested her and took her to jail. Winners Park told Fox providing the highest quality of care is top priority. The aide was terminated and Tiller worked for an unaffiliated company. Graham's family says one of the most disturbing aspects of the tape involves the male aide. When Graham tells him he will be sorry for the way he's treated her, he doesn't say anything, just gestures his response. Graham died about a month later.
I think it definitely did affect her will to live.
We were there by her side, and I think she just gave up because of the condition, you know.
Now, both granddaughters believe nursing home residents need 24-hour surveillance. And earlier this month, Oklahoma got just that. A new law allows nursing home residents to install cameras in their rooms. Families can pay for the service, and the nursing home cannot remove or tamper with the camera or refuse to admit a resident who wants monitoring. That video is also admissible in court.
Hi and good evening. I'm Steve Eager. First on Fox 4 News at 5:30 tonight. A nurse's aide caught on camera abusing an elderly woman is now a convicted felon. Fox 4's Becky Oliver broke this story in May and brings us an update tonight.
Brenna Tiller pleaded guilty to injury to the elderly. She's not going to prison, but the family believes justice was served. Any comment about what happened today?
Brenna Tiller left court surrounded by family and friends. She isn't talking, but it was her words and actions that landed her in criminal court.
Roll over, Annie.
Back in May, Fox 4 exposed how Tiller, a hospice worker, abused 98-year-old Minnie Graham. Graham's granddaughters put the camera in her nursing home room after they found her with a split lip and a black eye. The tape captured Tiller pulling on Graham's arm and slapping the frail woman more than once. Tiller calls Graham ugly and retarded. She mocks her and sticks out her tongue at Graham. Tiller's attorney wanted deferred adjudication for his client, which would have meant no felony conviction.
It changes your life drastically forever.
But Judge Dominique Collins said no way.
When we do certain things, the world needs to be on notice of who we are so they don't ever happen again.
Come on, go with him.
Tiller ended up with 5 years probation. She's now a convicted felon.
There was justice in a way. I mean, we hope that she won't ever be able to do that again.
Any background check will show a felony conviction, and so I feel confident that it'll make it very difficult for her to ever get a job in this field, and that was our goal.
Right now, hi, I'm Becky Oliver with Fox 4.
When Fox aired the story in May, Tiller had been indicted but never arrested. After we talked to Tiller outside her home, cops busted her the the next day.
I don't think we would be where we are today if it weren't for your team and all the coverage that you've given us on this. I think that, well, for sure they would have probably walked away with the slap on the hand.
Another aide who goes by the name Lewis was also caught on camera. He too is facing felony charges. His case is still pending.
Both aides have now lost their nurse aide licenses. The state revoked those after our story aired. We'll keep you posted. Becky Oliver, Fox 4 News.